Thank you, Ron. Appreciate it. And I think you brought up a very important topic, right? Choice. And I think that's one of the topics that we're going to touch while talking about Amazon Bedrock. So I love that picture that Arun brought, right? From idea to solution. What is the best way to get there? And if you don't have a lot of expertise, you want to start playing, App Studio is perfect. But what if you have maybe a little more of expertise? You want to get really deep into the problem and create a more complex, powerful solution, well, then you can use Amazon Bedrock. My name is Luis Pastor, and I'm a senior security solutions architect. I'm going to talk about Amazon Bedrock overall, and then we'll dive deeper into a little bit of the security of the service. Let me know if you can see my screen. Good? All good? Okay. Yeah? Okay,
I
good.
I don't see it still.
Oh, you can't see my screen yet?
No, no.
Okay, give me 1 second. I'm gonna stop share
By the
again.
way, I can see your screen.
Oh,
Okay,
okay,
then
great.
let's go ahead. Maybe it's just me. Sorry.
Yeah,
Uh,
I could see it, and I think Carlos said he could see it.
Okay,
Perfect. Thank
now
you,
I can
Carlos.
see
I
it. Now I
appreciate it.
can see
Thank you,
it.
Ron.
Yep.
All right,
Okay, all
awesome.
good.
All right, so yeah, so today we're gonna discuss some of the topics which uh, to help you understand how Bedrock can help um, really create this solution for any existing problem you have using Gen AI, right? So what is Bedrock? Bedrock is the easiest way to build and scale some of your applications with foundational models. And again, Ron talking about choice, the choice of what model to use. Well, we have industry-leading foundation models that you can use using a single API, right? So that's pretty powerful. The tool allows you to use whatever industry-leading foundation model you need for your solution, and we'll talk about more of that in a little bit. Then you can customize the models, and we're going to show you a couple of examples how you can do that. So you really get the customized experience, the really tailored solution for your particular need for your challenges. And then, of course, we're going to talk about how we incorporate that enterprise-grade security and privacy into the applications you build with Bedrock. So at a high level, as a mental model, right, how Bedrock works is going to be you're going to the end goal is to build your generative AI solution application using a foundational model. You may know exactly what you want, or you may not. So here we're going to talk about how to choose that foundational model and the choices that you have. Also, later after choosing it, how to customize it if you need to customize it in a certain way. We'll talk a couple of examples of how to do that. Then you're going to send your prompts using Bedrock API. So from the service itself, you can do that and receive the response. So it's like a one place for everything for your generative AI applications. Again, a little bit more complex of App Studio. So I'm gonna stay at a higher level for this conversation, but feel free to reach out for any more in-depth conversations. So, what are the four pillars do we think that Bedrock helps when simplifying the creation of AI applications? So, four of those that we're going to talk about today are going to be choice. We talked about the choice of foundational models, customization, how we can customize them to serve better for our solution. Integration, how do we integrate them with our existing applications and environments? And then responsible AI, right? And this is where the security comes into place. So we talk about choice, and I think Ron mentioned, right? It's really important to understand what is the best foundational model, not only the model itself, but the actual solution from each of the providers, right? So we have a lot of choice here. We actually just announced a few more models, Amazon itself. But if you think that you can get a better solution from Meta or using Llama, you can do that. If you want to use Anthropic, you can do that as well. If you want to use Stability AI, we want to make sure that you can use the model that is best for your challenges, right? To tackle those challenges, to come up with a better solution. So there's a broad choice of models, and we don't want the the choice to be dictated by what's available. We want to make sure that the choice is dictated by the model which you choose is dictated by what's best for your application, what's best for your use case. So that's why we have a lot of different choices available. And if you don't know what the choice is best for your solution for application, there's ways to evaluate it, right? So Bedrock can help you with this as well. It can help you with model evaluation. So a lot of our customers don't know exactly what model would be best and have to understand the trade-offs between cost, optimization. So these are a few ways too that you can start doing that, and you can arrive to a solution like what is the best solution for your challenge, right? So we have the playground that you can use for narrowing down the use case and identifying the foundational model that is best for you. You can do this programmatically. You don't have to use a human. So you can evaluate models programmatically, which might accelerate your solution to finding a foundational model that is best for your use case. You can use human in the loop as well. We know a lot of times it's very important to keep a human integrated into the solution and making sure that human is there to understand the nuances of what choice is best for you and how that choice is going to affect your solution overall. And then we also can provide the human on the loop, right? We have a managed service that can help you if you don't have an expert on your side that can do that for you. We have experts that can help you do this evaluation of different foundational models and understand what best foundational model tackles your problem using a human on the loop that is provided by AWS. So that's a bit of choice. Let's talk about customization because it doesn't it doesn't only require to understand what is the best foundational model for your use case, but also if it needs to be customized to give you the best results, right? So there's a few ways to customize foundational models, and we have them here represented in terms of how complex are them, right? So prompt engineering is a little easier than a retrieval augmented generation or RAG, then fine tuning, and then continue pre-training. And you can do all this with Amazon Bedrock. But let's talk about a couple of examples of how you can do this using the service. So you can implement RAG so that you can use all that knowledge that you already have, right? All that information that you already have in your organization that you've been collecting for years and years to make this solution better, right? So it will convert all your data into embeddings, store those embeddings, and build integration with the vector databases. So a very powerful way of customizing your foundational model to help to serve better for your solution. We have a lot of different features that will facilitate the use of RAG, fully managed support, end-to-end RAG workflow, stores data embeddings in your vector databases if it's in AWS, managed service, right? And then it provides source attribution. So you can provide source attribution to make sure that you know where that data is coming from and you understand how the responses to some of the queries are being found. So very powerful way to customize your foundational model and your solution to make it more applicable to your application. Another way to make the solution better and to customize it for your need is to do fine tuning. So we have fine tuning in Amazon Bedrock, so you really can go deep and do fine tuning on some of these models so that you can really get uh, the best performance out of your application. So here's a few of the models that we can provide fine tuning for: Anthropic, Cohere, Meta, and Amazon, right? So if you really want to go deep and do some more customization, you can do that with fine tuning. Now let's talk about how it can integrate with your existing solutions. So a lot of talk right now about agents, right? And how these agents can interact with each other and and be able to give you even more complex solutions, right? So one agent would be doing one thing, another agent would be one thing, but how do you make help them collaborate and arrive to a distinct solution that will be even more powerful than with each agent is capable of? Well, Amazon Bedrock can help you do that by making it really easy to create an agent and then add the action groups, add the data sources. So all those sources that, for example, Arun mentioned in the beginning, right? Bedrock also, just like App Studio, has some of those sources that you can pull data from and get all the sources so that you can interact with those agents, and the agents can interact with each others, right? So a lot more powerful solution that can arrive to more complex integrations and can give you a better understanding of what your application can arrive to. So what are some of the benefits of these agents? So they can automate orchestration steps for multitask, right? So if you have not just one problem, but different problems that can have different solutions, right? You can do all the coordination and all the programming via Bedrock. It simplifies the building and deploying of AI assistants, right? By using the service, provides secure access to enterprise data and APIs. All the access to those APIs is controlled by the identity management that you already have in place in the cloud, and you let you choose the implementation languages as well. So it provides a fully managed infrastructure, so you can start playing and developing those agents and coordinating those agents, so you can get a very powerful application, and you can arrive to a better even solution with generative AI. So let's talk a little bit about security. So how do you, and I heard a question before, right? How you make sure that data is secure and the in the tools are only getting access to that to that data that is needed, right? And that your data is not used to train that foundational model that is used for other customers. Well, none of our customers' data is used to train the underlying models. So the data that is used to fine tune and the RAG and everything that stays in your environment. None of that data is used to train any of the models. So you keep you keep control of all your data in your environment. You never lose that control. All data is encrypted in transit and rest, so it's protected from any misuse or any exfiltration, right? And then data remains in the region where API is processed. And if you know about AWS, you know that we have distinct data centers that are combined into a zone, combined into a region, so that data never leaves the region. So you rest assured that in terms of data residency, that data is always going to remain where you have control and where you have your compliance needs, right? So for example, if you have GDPR, you have SOC, you have HIPAA, your data is going to stay in that region. It's never going to leave that region, so that you're not going to be in a conflict of data residency. And Amazon Bedrock is also HIPAA eligible, so you can use it with your personal health information, right? So I guess here, just to make sure that we understand that the data is not used to improve any of our models. It's always under your control, always stays in your organization, and always stays in your AWS environment. There's a lot of different ways, and I could go about this for hours, right? There's a lot of different ways to make sure that your data is always safe, and you include different controls for your environment with your generative AI applications, right? So there's a lot of different services that we have, including IAM for access management, CloudTrail to make sure that you understand what is happening in your account. You have all the logs. KMS for encryption, key management, and private link to make sure that that communication only happens in trusted networks. So there's a lot of different controls that you can implement. And the good part about this is that they all stay in your environment, and they all stay under your control. and it's mostly what you're already using in your AWS environment, so you don't have to change anything when it comes to using Bedrock to create generative AI applications.
Hey, Luis, we've got about
Yes.
3 to 5 minutes left, so I just want to make sure you're aware of the time.
Yeah, no problem. I think I covered the compliance status. This keeps evolving, so please contact me if you have any compliance needs that are not mentioned there. We also have guardrails to make sure that the responses that you get from your generative AI applications are responsible, are safe. So there's a whole conversation I can have for Amazon Bedrock guardrails and a lot of the security controls that we can put around it. So please feel free to reach out to me if you have any more questions. And then, of course, we log a lot of the different different interactions that you have with the model, right? So you will always know what's going on between you and the model. We log a lot of the metadata. We log a lot of the answers and responses, or we can if you choose to do so, right? Because there's always a trade-off. But just to make sure that you always know what's going on between you and the model, right? Very important for security, very important for compliance, and to really understand how you're getting those responses. So with that, I think that's the end of my talk, and I'll open the floor for any questions with the action item of please contact me if you want a demo, a workshop, or a deeper dive on Bedrock or security considerations around it.